The complement system is activated and acts through 3 different pathways. Antibody-dependent, or the classical pathway. The lectin activation pathway. The alternative pathway. The classical pathway is antibody-dependent and thus part of the acquired immune response. Lectin and alternative pathways are part of the innate system, as they can be activated upon first exposure to a pathogen. All 3 pathways follow the same pattern once the C3 protein is activated. In other words, the pathways differ from one another in the way of their initial activation step, while the rest of the pathway is the same. We will discuss these pathways in detail, one by one. Starting with the classical pathway. The classical pathway is made up of C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7, C8, and C9. As we have discussed before, you must keep in mind that these proteins were named in the order they were discovered, not in the order of function. Normally, these plasma proteins remain inactive as zymogens in the blood. Until they are cleaved and become activated, a cascade of events starts known as the classical pathway. The pathway starts with C1. C1 is made up of 3 distinct subunits, C1q, C1r, and C1s. C1r and C1s cleave proteins and are known as proteases. The C1q unit of the C1 protein is the active unit. It can bind to bacterial surfaces, antibodies bound to pathogens, and to a protein known as C-reactive protein, which also binds to bacterial surfaces. In the classical pathway, as it is an antibody-dependent pathway, the C1q binds to the Fc portion of the antibodies. Their valency is 6. That means C1 protein can bind up to 6 antibodies at a time with the help of the C1q unit. Unlike C1r and C1s, C1q has no enzymatic activity. The 3 units are bound together in a calcium cap, so it is seen that for people that have calcium deficiency, C1 is also deficient. The classical pathway starts with the binding of C1 proteins to the surface of a pathogen via antibodies. After the C1 protein is bonded, conformational changes occur. The protein twists and the proteases are released. C1r activates C1s. After its activation, C1s cleave C2 and C4 into C2a, C2b, C4a, and C4b respectively. As mentioned before, the C4b fragment and C2a join to form the C3 convertase. The C3 convertase is formed after C4b attaches to the pathogen surface, and the C2a then attaches to C4b, completing the formation of the C4b2a complex. After that, C3 convertase starts the cascade event and activates other complementary proteins of the classical pathway, first cleaving the C3 protein into C3a and C3b fragments. The C3b fragments further carry the pathway. Something to note here, a single C1 protein can make up to 10 C3 convertases. This enzyme stays activated for over 3 minutes, and one C3 convertase can make up to over 100 C3b fragments. We are talking about C3b in such detail because it is also known as an opsonin. The name may sound familiar to you. Yes, it comes from opsonization. We mentioned opsonization when we were talking about the function of the complement system. Opsonization is the important process in host defense by which particles or complexes are made readily ingestible for uptake by phagocytic cells. Specific serum proteins, known as an opsonin, coat particles and cause the particles to bind avidly to phagocytes and trigger ingestion. In simpler words, the opsonization of a pathogen allows the phagocytic cells, such as macrophages, to pick up the pathogen more easily and faster. Other than opsonization, some C3b fragments bind closely with C4bc2a convertase. This makes up a new complex known as C4bC2A3B, also called C5 convertase. Like the C3 protein, the C5 convertase cleaves C5 protein into C5a and C5b fragments. The C5b protein fragments recruit C6 and C7 proteins. This complex gets into the target membrane and signals the C8 protein. This complex penetrates the pathogen cell membrane and causes polymerization of the C9 protein. The poly-C9 proteins are responsible for forming a channel through the pathogen membrane. This cluster of proteins C5b, C6, C7, C8, C9 is known as the membrane attack complex, or simple MAC. It punches a hole in the surface membrane of the pathogen, allowing influx of ions through this hole that leads to the cell to burst due to osmotic lysis. That concludes the classical pathway of complement system activation. The other two pathways, alternative and lectin, also end with MAC synthesis, but their mechanism of action is different. The second way the complement system can be activated is called the alternative pathway. Although the alternative pathway certainly evolved before the classical pathway, immunologists call antibody-dependent activation classical, simply because it happened to have been discovered first. As we have already discussed, the proteins that make up the complement system are produced mainly by the liver and are present at high concentrations in blood and tissues. The most abundant complement protein is called C3, and in the human body, C3 molecules are continually broken into two smaller proteins. One of the protein fragments created by this spontaneous cleavage, C3b, is very reactive and can bind to either of two common chemical groups that are amino or hydroxyl groups. Because many of the proteins and carbohydrates that make up the surfaces of invaders, such as bacterial cells, have amino or hydroxyl groups, there are lots of targets for these little C3b grenades. Components of the complement system that are unique to the alternative pathway are factor B, factor D, and properdin. Factor B is cleaved by factor D into BA and BB fragments. Here, C3b binds to factor B, which is cleaved by factor D to BB, forming the C3bBB complex. This complex then acts as the C3 convertase and generates more C3b through an amplification loop. The properdin protein attaches to the C3bBB complex to form the C3bBBP complex, which acts as the C5 convertase in the alternative pathways. Once C3 convertase is activated, the alternative pathway follows the same steps as the classic pathways. The product is the synthesis of the membrane attack complex. The alternate pathway does not result in a truly nonspecific activation of complement because it requires specific types of compounds for activation. It simply does not require specific antigen-antibody interactions for initiation. In addition to the classical antibody-dependent and alternative antibody-independent pathways of complement activation, there is a third pathway that may be the most important activation pathway of all, the lectin activation pathway. The central player in this pathway is a protein that is produced mainly in the liver and which is present in moderate concentrations in the blood and tissues. This protein is called mannose-binding lectin, MBL. A lectin is a protein that can bind to a carbohydrate molecule, and mannose is a carbohydrate molecule found on the surface of many common pathogens. For example, MBL has been shown to bind to yeasts such as Candida albicans, to viruses such as HIV-1 and influenza A, to many bacteria, including Salmonella and Streptococcus, and parasites such as Leishmania. In contrast, mannose-binding lectin does not bind to the carbohydrates found in healthy human cells and tissues. This is an example of an important strategy employed by the innate system. The innate system mainly focuses on patterns of carbohydrates and fats that are found on the surface of common pathogens, but not on the surface of human cells. The way mannose binding lectin works to activate the complement system is very simple. In the blood, MBL binds to another protein called MASP. Then, when the mannose binding lectin grabs its target, the MASP protein functions like a convertase to clip C3 complement proteins to make C3b. MASP1 and MASP2 are proteases just like C1R and C1s. The C3 protein activation is the same as the other pathways. Let's recall that once again. First, the C4 protein is cleaved into C4a and C4b, then the C2 protein is cleaved into C2a and C2b. Together C4a and C2b form the C4a2b convertase that cleaves the C3 protein. The rest of the steps in the pathway are the same as the other pathways we have discussed. From the formation of C5 convertase to the recruitment of other complement proteins to form the membrane attack complex. Because C3 is so abundant in the blood, this happens very efficiently. The C3b fragments can then bind to the surface of the bacterium, and the complement chain reaction we just discussed will be off and running. So whereas the alternative activation pathway is spontaneous and can be visualized as complement grenades going off randomly here and there to destroy any unprotected surface, lectin activation can be thought of as complement smart bombs that are targeted by mannose binding lectins. Stay tuned to learn about the effects and regulators of the complement system.